Hey, how's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I would like to share with you my opinion and also show to you how you can use the tire changer from Rabaconda. Maybe you have already watched a few videos from Rabaconda themselves, and I think they do a great job at showing how to use the tool. But I have to be honest that when you watch their videos, it just seems so easy, right? I was watching and said, that's unbelievable. They can change whatever tires they want and it's so easy without breaking a sweat. And I was a bit curious about it, so now that I have the tool, it is the fourth time that I'm using it, and I must say I am happy with the tool. It does take some getting used to it, but without a doubt, it is much easier to do it with the tool than without it. So, with that said, let's get this tire out and then remount it on this wheel. Let's go. Let's get the cap out. And I'm going to get the lock nut also out. Now I'm using a valve stem removal tool just to get the valve out. This part now is all about breaking the bead. So to do that, I'm going to press in here. So it's already out. Actually, it's quite easy, especially for tubed tires. I have to say that when I changed the tire of my CB500X, which is a tubeless tire, it was harder. But on tube tires, I just find it to be much easier. So here you can see in detail. Just take a look. So now I'm going to flip it. And same idea, just on the opposite side. Now just a hint in here, on this part I have the valve stem, so I don't want to press it all the way in, because I don't want to risk damaging the tube since I have the valve stem in here. That's it, this part is done. What I like to do now, I'm looking for the valve stem, and I want to put the valve stem not right at 6 p.m. because 6 p.m. is where I'm going to start, when I'm going to introduce the duck head. I want to have it a little bit before. So more or less like in here. So here's the valve stem, let's say at 7 p.m. and here is the starting point for me. So like this. So how is that going to go now? You're going to take this the duck head. I also have this plastic insert. I put the plastic insert in here. This plastic insert is only if you have the smaller diameter spindle. If you have a larger diameter, you don't need this plastic insert. So I put it in here and I'm going to introduce. And just like here at the top, you have a knob where you can adjust. Actually, let me show to you. You can adjust the position of the duck head. So I put this in here. And then I press the tire, fit the duck head inside, so it sits against the rim. There's like a groove here on the duck head, and this groove is what wraps around the edge of the rim, like this. The next step is like this. Using the tire lever that is provided with the kit, we're going to pull the tire over the duck head, and at the same time, with the breaker lever, I'm going to press down here at the top, so the tire on the opposite side falls into the drop center, so it gives me more space to pull the tire over the duck head. So here's the duck head. I take the tire lever with this curve here pointed towards the tire. Now don't go crazy in here if you have a tube tire, because you don't want to damage your tube. So here you can see in detail, look that the tire edge was pulled over the duck head. That's what you want to have. If you're doing this on a spoked wheel, you're going to need to use this strap to fixate the position of the wheel. So you take the strap, I'm going to pass it underneath this leg in here on the right side, like that. And then I catch a spoke. Actually, I'm going to take the next one, like this. And then I come back, and then I lock it in place. So there's this ratchet, or it's not a ratchet, but there's this clasp This is really straightforward, can't go wrong. Like this, so you see it just locks now using the spoke. One thing that the Rabaconda tells you is that the spoke you choose should more or less follow the strap. So if you see this spoke, it's in this direction, and that is the same direction, is parallel, right, is falling together with the strap. What you wouldn't want to have is, for example, to fix the strap, an extreme case, on this spoke, right? So now you have the strap like this, so you would have a force being applied on the spoke sideways, perpendicular, like that. So you don't want to have this, you want to have it this way. Together with the kit, you also get some grease, proper for tires. So actually, I don't think I'm going to need it, but I'm going to put a little bit. Should have done it before, to be honest. But just in here, so that the duck head is going to move this direction. So I'm just putting in front some grease. And I'll just put here at the beginning, and then if I need more, I can add it later. We're gonna introduce it or insert it in here. Then I'm going to step with my right foot on this leg here on the right side. Then I'm just gonna apply force like that. Now, it's not a lot of force. Now I'm going very slow. But it's really, it's not a lot of force. So you just go all the way, and you can even see where I'm holding, right? I'm not putting my hand here very far away because I don't need a lot of force. If I would put it here, I would have a lot of torque, but I don't need. I can even have it here very close. Look. And it just goes. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's crazy. But that's it. That's one out. That's one side already out. Now, sorry that I talk too much, but I think it's important I tell you this. First time I used this tool, there were points that I was really putting too much force in here. So I was really cranking, and I was holding the lever here at the very end to have a lot of torque. And it is really about technique. So now, this is the 4th or 5th time. I also changed tires for friends of mine. So I'm starting to get the hang of the tool, and you really do not need a lot of force. So if you're doing this at home, you just bought the tool, and then you're starting to do it, and then you're just thinking, whoa, man, I have to put a lot of force. You're probably doing something wrong. Think about, are you using grease? Is the position right? Are you in the drop center? Maybe just go back and check that everything is fine. If you're doing everything okay, it really looks to me that you don't need to put a lot of force. Now, this is only my experience. I haven't tried in all types of tires and all types of motorcycles and rims and so on. But my experience is telling me that if you're doing everything fine, it should go quite easily. So that's it. With this said, now we have to get the second part also of the rim. What I like to do at this stage is actually to get the tube off the wheel. Then I can just do it relaxed. I don't have to worry about the tube getting damaged. So I'm going to get the tube out right now. So here's my valve stem. Just going to push it inside. And then get it here on the side, like this. So, there you go. Now, what you need to do now is to pull the opposite side, so the opposite lip of the tire over the duck head. So it's the same idea. I'm pulling the tire here, I'm introducing the tire iron, and then I'm catching the tire on the opposite side, and then I can pull it like this, see? So now I'm just taking the opposite lip and putting over the duck head. Now, here at the top, as I'm pulling here, you have a hook in here. So I can pull this here, and then I lock the tire iron in this position, see, so it doesn't just fall on the ground and I don't have to hold it. So just like this. I'm gonna put a bit of grease on the opposite side, but this should be even easier now, but why not? Let me put a little bit of grease. Just at the beginning, for now is enough. Just put it here, I'm stepping on the tool. Another tip in here, as I'm doing this movement here, as I'm getting the tire out of the rim, the tire iron is going to fall to the ground. So you should hold it. I'm not going to hold it on purpose, so just you can see. Okay, it's going to fall. See, because this is turning. There you go, then it falls. So what I recommend you to do it, just have your opposite hand, so the left hand holding it so it doesn't fall. So, I mean, very easy. This is really. So there you go, here we have it. So what I like to do now, I'm going to pump some air into the tube. It's not a lot, I just want the tube to hold its shape. Here. And I'm happy with this. I can't really tell you how many bar that is, but it just holds its position, but it's still very soft. And so it's not a lot of bar, a lot of PSI in here, it's just to hold the position. You have to check on your tire sidewall. If it has a little arrow that points the direction of rotation, then you should match it. And the other tip I had for you is that you should use some baby powder. So I like to put a little bit inside. It's just a little bit. Because if you have the rubber without baby powder, so rubber and rubber, it gets very sticky. So when you get this baby powder in there, it just helps the tube to slide, to move freely inside the tire. And you're even going to feel it if your tube doesn't have any baby powder and you add to it, you're going to feel immediately that it just gets very slippery. That's what you want with the tube. Okay, that's enough. Now I'm going to insert the tube inside the tire. And here's another good tip. Look if your tire has a dot marked anywhere. Here on the sidewall, you see that the D606 has a yellow circle. It could be a red dot or whatever it is, but if there is a marking, then you want to line up the valve stem with it, this way. Then I'm going to release the strap because I want to change the position of the wheel. So I release it. And now where the opening of the valve stem is, so just like this. So here's the entrance of the valve stem in here. That's the position I want to have it. So the valve stem is going out through its hole. Here you can see popping out. Now I'm going to get the lock nut and screw it in a little bit, not all the way, just so I don't lose the position of the valve stem. What is important here, the valve stem should come out of its hole perpendicular. So like this, it shouldn't be tilted or have any angle. So now to the extent that it's possible, I'm going to already push the tire a little bit inside, but really I can't go much in. So that's as far as it goes. I'm happy with that. Then I'm going to fit the duck head now. Let me show to you close up what I'm doing. So once you have it like that, you get your lever once again. Here on the right foot, I'm stepping on the tool. And with my left hand, I'm holding the tire in position, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit more grease. So here is my grease. And I continue. Okay, so the first side is in, and I'm going to once again bring the duck head to the 12 o'clock position. Now I'm going to show to you close up what you have to do. Here's what's important. Where you have the duck head, on the right side, you need to push the tire in, okay? Now you can try to do it by hand. That's what I'm going to try to do now. But it will not go. So if it doesn't go by hand, you get the tire lever. And you push it in. like that. So that's what you want to have. The duck head has to be visible on the right side. So where the column here is, on the right side has to be visible. That's a good time to add some grease. And now we are going to repeat the same thing. So here with my left hand, I'm holding the tire so the duck head doesn't slip, or the tire doesn't slip over the duck head. And then I start to go around. So you see here at the top now, the tire is already inside. So with my hand, I'm holding this in there so I don't want to lose it as the duck head slides. Okay. So it's going. Now that's the critical part, okay? That's the hardest part, is when it starts to stretch here at the very end. So make sure you have grease. Okay, so this is looking really good. I'm gonna show to you here now what's happening here. At this point, I would already say I have completed the job. I just have to push the last part of the tire over the duck head. So I'm doing by hand. It's pretty hard, so I don't want to kill myself. That's the point of the tool, to make it easier. So what you can do, you take the bead breaker, this lever, and then you adjust the height in here. And I'm going to push it using the tool, see, like that. So let me give you a better angle. So when I push it here, you see, it's going to just push the tire. And that's it. So I can get my duck head out. And that's it. That's how you change a tire from beginning to end using the Rabaconda tire changer. If you have any questions, you can leave it here in the comment. And that's pretty much it. So hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, give it a like, and I see you on the next video.